Lesson 13. Tudor Astronomy and Navigation. Tudor astronomy was influenced by early astronomical traditions, including those from the ancient Greece, Rome, and Islamic world. Tudor astronomers made observations of the night sky using instruments like astrolabes and quadrants. They studied the positions, movements, and characteristics of celestial bodies, including the sun, moon, planets, and stars. The Tudors believed that the Earth was at the centre of the universe, and that celestial bodies moved in circular orbits around the Earth. Astrology, the belief that celestial bodies influence human affairs and personality traits, was closely intertwined with Tudor astronomy. Astronomers often practiced astrology alongside their scientific observations, using celestial positions to make predictions and interpretations. Tudor astronomers played a crucial role in developing navigational techniques for seafaring. They used celestial observations to determine latitude and longitude, aiding in the exploration and expansion of the Tudor Empire. Accurate timekeeping was also important for navigation, and astronomers worked on improving clocks and time measurement. Tudor monarchs such as Henry VIII and Elizabeth I were interested in astronomy and provided patronage to astronomers. They supported astronomical research, funded observatories, and sought astrological advice for matters of state. Tudor astronomy played a significant role in expanding scientific understanding of the universe during this period. It laid the foundation for future advancements in astronomy and navigation, contributing to the scientific revolution that followed in subsequent centuries. Navigation. Tudor navigators used various instruments to aid in navigation. The astrolabe, quadrant, and cross-staff and backstaff were commonly used to measure the angle between celestial objects and the horizon, allowing sailors to determine their latitude. The compass, a magnetic instrument, was used to determine direction. Dead reckoning was a primary method of navigation during the Tudor period. It involved estimating a ship's position based on its course, speed, and time travelled since the last known position. This method was prone to errors and required constant adjustments. Celestial navigation played a crucial role in Tudor navigation. Navigators used the positions of the celestial bodies, such as the sun, moon, stars, and planets, to determine their latitude and to some extent their longitude. They relied on astronomical tables and instruments to make their calculations. Determining latitude, north-south position, was relatively easier using celestial observations. However, accurately determining longitude, their east-west position, was a significant challenge during the Tudor era. Navigators relied on dead reckoning, estimated distances, and timekeeping to approximate their longitude. Portolan charts were navigational maps used during the Tudor period. These charts depicted coastlines, ports, and navigational features, such as compass roses and rum lines. While not highly accurate in terms of scale, they provided valuable information for coastal navigation. Tudor sailors used the log and log line to measure a ship's speed. The log line was a rope with knots tied at regular intervals. A log, typically a wooden board or a piece of wood, was thrown overboard, while the log line was allowed to unwind. The number of knots that passed through the sailor's hand in a specific time determined the ship's speed. Knots is still used as a term to measure sailing speed today. Pilots, experienced sailors, and navigators played a crucial role in Tudor navigation. They possessed knowledge of specific routes, hazards, and navigational techniques. Sailing directions, known as rutters, provided detailed information about coastal features, landmarks, and navigational instructions for specific regions. Tudor navigation was driven by the desire for exploration and trade. Explorers like John Cabot and Francis Drake sought new trade routes and discovered new lands. Navigation played a vital role in the expansion of the Tudor Empire and the establishment of trade networks. Sir Francis Drake. Sir Francis Drake was known as a navigator, explorer, and privateer. He helped build Elizabeth's power and wealth. Drake is best known for being the first Englishman to circumnavigate the globe. From 1577 to 1580, he led an expedition known as Drake's Circumnavigation, during which he sailed around the world, exploring new territories and claiming them for England. From the age of 13, he'd worked as a sailor. Then, in his 20s, he joined a slave trading fleet and was one of the first Englishmen to engage in the African slave trading. The fleet he joined was attacked by the Spanish, and from then on he hated the Spanish. Drake was also involved in privateering, which involved attacking and plundering enemy ships. He targeted Spanish ships and settlements in the Caribbean and South America, earning him both fame and notoriety. His first famous raid was the capture of the Spanish treasure ship, the Cacafuego, which was brought immense wealth to England. In 1572, Drake began a system of raids on Spanish ports and settlements in the Americas, beginning with Panama. He took the treasure he looted from the Spanish back to the Queen in England. In 1577, he led 5 ships in an attempt to sail into the Pacific Ocean and beyond. Only 1 ship was successful in completing the journey. He travelled around South and North America, across the Pacific and into the Indian Ocean. He made many trades, stole much treasure, and made Elizabeth I a fortune. Drake's exploits made him a national hero in England. He was knighted by Queen Elizabeth I and became a symbol of English maritime power and defiance against Spain. His voyages and successes helped establish England as a major naval power and laid the foundation for its future colonial empire. Drake played a crucial role in the defeat of the Spanish Armada in 1588. As Vice Admiral of the English fleet, he led successful naval engagements against the Spanish, using innovative tactics and his knowledge of the seas to disrupt their plans. Drake's voyages contributed to the English exploration and colonisation efforts. He explored the Pacific coast of North America, claiming it for England and naming it New Albion. His expeditions paved the way for future English colonisation of the Americas. In 1596, he became ill while fighting the Spanish in the West Indies. Sir Walter Raleigh. Sir Walter Raleigh was another favourite of Elizabeth I and a famous explorer. He began exploring North America in 1578. In 1580, he attracted Queen Elizabeth's attention after fighting an Irish rebellion. She knighted him and made him a Member of Parliament. He continued his explorations of North America in the 1580s. Sir Walter Raleigh then fell out of favour with Elizabeth in 1592. He had secretly married one of her maids, Elizabeth Throckmorton. courtiers were supposed to seek permission from the Queen before marrying. Enraged, she had them both sent to the Tower of London. After being released, Raleigh left to go on another expedition. His aim was to discover El Dorado, a legendary place built from gold. Although he explored Venezuela, he was unable to find it. Raleigh did outlive Queen Elizabeth, but he did not have a happy ending. The next king, James I, suspected him of plotting against him and had him sentenced to death. He suspended the sentence but kept him imprisoned in the Tower of London for 12 years. After his release, he returned to Venezuela on the promise to not antagonise the Spanish. Unfortunately, Raleigh's son led a raid on the Spanish settlement, where he was killed, and on returning to England, James I had Sir Walter Raleigh arrested and executed. We have several activities for lesson 13. First, you want to keep a moon diary over the month. It doesn't matter what day, what phase of the moon you start the diary on, but each night for 28 days, look at the moon and colour in your diary exactly how it looks, how much is exposed and how much is in darkness. The second activity is to build your own compass. You can find the instructions for this in our Tudor workbook, which can be downloaded either directly from our website at Chatty Zebra Curriculum or as the printed books from Amazon. The third activity is to use a map to navigate your own route around your local area. You could plan it to go alongside your river field trip. Look at the different icons on the map, such as a church or the icon for shops or the river and roads, and use this to plot a journey. See how many different icons you can see in real life, or maybe even time how long it takes you to get from point A to point B.